Yeah. Well, we got way more awesome sets coming up. Persistence #2 in the league right now versus Nasty Majesty sitting just outside the playoffs. Again, they are one game behind regular gamers. And Mirage, I believe, is now 14-10 closed out for the day. So, if they want a chance to make playoffs, they need at least one win to tie regular gamers. Maybe two in case regular gamers wins one today. If they get all three, of course, that would be the best scenario. But they're playing against the #2, or potentially you could say the #1 team, because Persistence, even with the worst record, has taken down Bittersweet 2-1.
Right.
So, Swift, going to you first. Your thoughts on Nasty Majesty versus Persistence?
I honestly think this is going to be fairly close, because I know we could argue that Persistence is the best team in the league, and I think maybe Nasty Majesty can take 2 games. I don't think they'll take all 3. I think they can take 2. I love Nasty Majesty, probably my favorite team here in this league. Just a little bit of bias towards them.
Caster bias.
But I'm excited.
All right.
I think Nasty Majesty has to pull this one off. 3-0 lead, especially if they bring out that Bamboozler and Zap combo. And that's all that they play for sure. They will absolutely take victory. Bamboozlers and Zaps are the only way to win and are the only meta right now, obviously.
Yeah. Well, sadly for me, with my unbiased thought, I do love Nasty Majesty, but I've predicted them not to make the playoffs. I think their nerves got the best of them last week. Even though Shane wasn't able to play all 3 matches,
right.
I still think the team needed it to win 2-1 versus Translucents. Unable to pick up 2 wins, only got the 1.
Yep.
And now they're a game behind regular gamers. Playing against the best team, I think regular gamers at least gets 1 win. Nasty Majesty needing 2 here. I don't see them taking down Persistence. Persistence has been set as one of the best teams since the start of the league, and they've been improving since that time.
Yep.
I do like Nasty Majesty. I think they're a good team, but the position that they've put themselves in here right now, being a 12-9 record, having to win against the best team, not a good spot for them to be.
Right.
I don't believe it's going to happen. They could, of course, prove me wrong, and that would be very hype. It'd be very exciting.
Yeah.
I think maybe they get 1 win, and we'll see what happens with regular gamers and Translucents. But we are seconds away from the game, so we don't even need to talk about it anymore. It's going to happen. Persistence versus Nasty Majesty. Playoffs for Nasty Majesty on the line. Can they get it done? Let's get into game #1. All right, and of course, we're going back to Tower Control on Starfish main stage. Here we go. We have Persistence in the blue, and we're gonna have, of course, Nasty Majesty then in the green. Swift, I'm coming to you with your thoughts about these team comps. What are you thinking? What are you seeing?
I'd like to point out the 2 main sources of ink armor for these 2 teams. One being a gold dynamo and one being an NZAP. The NZAP probably going to be getting more than the gold dynamo just because of its painting capability over the dynamo. But we'll see how this pans out. Already players going down for both teams.
Yeah. And white for Nasty Majesty, this is what we're talking about. Sora, a chance to be MVP of the league, popping off right here. And Stormy, player of the week as well last week. So they have some good things going on for them, and already 3 checkpoint ones.
If there's anything that this league proves, is that if your name looks cool and you use some weird characters, you're going to take victory.
Possibly. Sora, again, already popping off. Swift, you were mentioning that dynamo there, especially with the ink armor, and it seems to be working out so far for Persistence. Alright, they're still going to be pushing that tower all the way to checkpoint 1. 3 going down. Holy crap, Penta missiles actually taking people out. Mako just trying to use that speeder to slow down the push, but they're going to get through at least checkpoint 1.
Relative ease here on checkpoint 2. Able to pass it.
No, with a double kill, Shane able to at least trade it there. That was pretty huge. But Persistence already through checkpoint 2. This is looking very bad, very quickly for Nasty Majesty. Stormy still on the tower team. 2 minutes into the game. They're looking for the KO on the checkpoint 3. Missile ready. They do get him off. Diego with some nice hits. Can they get a double kill here? This would be huge to stopping their push. Yeah, Swift, it finally looks like they have the push stop. What does Nasty Majesty need to do to get back into this game now?
To hit control of the middle. Middle is really important in this game. You just need to get control around everywhere.
Looking for the control. They do have some players go down. And right now they're in a battle with Stormy. Stormy going to jump out. And it looks like now kind of the map is reset back to the middle 4v4. And everyone has a fair chance at the tower now.
Yeah, so much control. It's not too far from Nasty Majesty, but yeah, it's going to take a miracle for them to be able to pull off even the lead here.
They are going to trade against each other. Nice there. Can Mako get some picks? 2v2 on the map. Mako with a nice shot onto no. Nice. Meaning they're going to get their first push of the day. Diego goes down though, and now Mako has to watch both sides. Stormy popping off again.
Everyone coming in. It's looking good. But we are seeing two great teams, but one that is significantly more cohesive and has a significantly better idea of how their opponent plays.
Yeah, full control for them right now. You can see on the map, Persistence getting everything that they want. Specials, paint, and I think Nasty Majesty needs to get probably 3 picks right here if they want to have any chance to actually win this game, but instead they're the ones going down.
Oh baby, yeah, 3 down. Okay, alright, they're not gonna let that KO happen.
They're giving themselves maybe one more chance. It's not looking good though.
Dynamo pushed up really far.
Yeah, that was a pretty aggressive take. It does go down there to that Stingray. Does trade a kill, Mako getting a nice pick there, but those picks aren't going to be enough to actually get them on the tower. Alright, 40 seconds left. Let's see if they can get anything done. Jamoka getting some kills there. 30 seconds left on the map. They are going to have to jump out, so that means Persistence is going to have to defend at least one more time. Nasty Majesty try to get the full control that they can get. You can see Jamoka spinning, making me dizzy, trying to get that paint out there.
They might just need to get this checkpoint 1 just to be like able to have some morale going into game 2. I feel like.
Diego with some nice picks, but Stormy trades it back. 2v3, Stormy going to get another kill. Spelling disaster for Nasty Majesty. That is going to be GG, game number 1. Going to Persistence. As you said, Zach, it almost didn't even feel that close. I mean, Nasty Majesty put up a fight at some points of the game, but Persistence able to get that early lead and just hold on to it with honestly some ease there. Sora, no, both getting some high KA there. Swift, what did you think about that map? Why did you think about that match? Why was Persistence able to hold that big lead for so long?
Well, they have a really good defensive comp with a Stingray, a Booyah Bomb, a Dynamo, and so they can really just take advantage of being able to go wherever they want on the map.
Yup.
Well, we'll see if anything is different for game number 2. As we see in the chat, Persistence did have a lot of kills. So I'm looking for Nasty Majesty. Can they stay alive? We've shouted out no plenty of times as the kill leader in our league, popping off with almost 10 splats a game. I feel like we need to see Shane have a performance like that. We've seen that from him, Player of the Week. I think it was week 2 or 3 on the Nautilus. Is he willing to go back to something like that and able to get as many picks as Persistence is getting?
Totally.
It's going to be tough.
Oh, whoa, baby! Going into game 2, I'm getting a little sweaty in my heart. Is that fair? I think that's a fair.
Sweaty in your heart. I don't know what that means.
My
but
heart's
sure.
getting a little sweaty. Okay, meaning I'm a little bit fearful for Nasty Majesty, and I think if they're not able to take these next 2 games it's going to be really hard for me to justify getting a tattoo of their logo.
Swift, with 20 seconds left, what are you expecting from Nasty Majesty on Clan Blitz? Any changes for them to make?
Well, I really hope that Shane brings out the Nautilus. It's a very, like, killing type weapon, and I feel like they just need more kills. I feel like they're getting, like, good paint. They're doing good coordination, but you're just not getting the kills off of it.
Well, we're ready for game number 2, so Swift, we'll see if your prediction is right. What is Nasty Majesty going to do with their playoff hopes on the line? They need at least one game to have a chance. Let's see if they can get it here.
Clan Blitz on Sturgeon.
Yep. Purple is going to be Persistence. Meanwhile, in the green is going to be Nasty Majesty. Nasty Majesty, I'm sure, is feeling the pressure, but they do go with Shane on the Nautilus. Swift, why is that going to help them win this game, you think?
Well, I think it's going to help them win this game because you can see he has that baller, and baller is just a big part of Clan Blitz because it can really just help you get in so much easier. Another interesting thing is 2 bamboos, 1 on each side, and I think, wow.
Yeah. So much for them winning the game. Persistence with an early wipe is going to get that lead already under 70. It's looking pretty rough. Sora in their faces. Inky taking out Mako, and again, almost a wipe. Shane, only one left alive to defend.
Half of the points gone through already. Looks like a couple more are going to be going in here. My word, a full wipe again! Nasty Majesty, are you kidding me?
Yeah, if they can find those last clans up there, then they could potentially just get a KO with this first push.
This team is so strong. You can see it here. Just getting picks after picks, not letting Nasty Majesty come out of their base.
That's it.
And that's it.
Heartbreaking for Nasty Majesty. Not even getting a chance. A wipe to start it out means Persistence gets that push, and then they get 2 or 3, I can't remember, maybe even 4 wipes there at the end, taking their score from 100 to 0, almost within a minute. Not what anyone was expecting, but Sora with a 6 kills, Storm with 5 as well. It just seemed like Nasty Majesty right off the gate fumbled the play, and they didn't have a single chance after that.
Yep.
Oh, heartbreaking. Heartbreaking for sure. Well, this is going to be their last opportunity. Swift, Nasty Majesty, you said you like them as a team, but it's coming down to Rainmaker on Schellendorf. Are you shaking your confidence?
Well, no, I'm not. They can take it.
They can take it. All right.
They can do it. I believe. Never give up.
There is the prediction. I mean, I think if you're Nasty Majesty, losing that game to 100 to 0 could be such a morale blow. Mm-hmm. But I think at this point, you just went down 100 to 0.
Yeah.
This is your last match of the season. Just go all out. Like, just...
For sure.
Like, don't even care. Like, just, you need to have the confidence to say, hey, we got destroyed. This is our last game. Just throw everything out there. Might as well try one last time.
Yep. Why not? And I think regardless...
2 bamboozlers.
Yeah, bamboozlers.
4 bamboozlers, yeah.
Why not? Regardless of what we see in this game 3, I think that anyone who goes into the finals this week, just be watching replays of Persistence, man, because they are the team to beat going into this finals. If they do not take the victory of this entire esports league, I feel like that would be insane. But I'm really excited to see how they play in those finals.
Definitely proving themselves, and we'll talk more about the playoffs next week because they potentially still have Bittersweet to face where they only won 2-1 in a best of 3. But right now, Nasty Majesty needs one win, and it is looking pretty bad for them. We're seconds away from them getting their last opportunity. Rainmaker can go either way, so fingers crossed if you're a Nasty Majesty fan. Cheer them on in the chat because they need all the support they can get. They're getting it on Twitter, but they need some in the chat. This is their last opportunity for Nasty Majesty to make the playoffs. Can they pull it off against one of the best teams in the league? We'll find out right now.
Here we go.
All right, Persistence in the yellow, Nasty Majesty in the blue. Swift, I'm seeing some interesting dualies coming out here from Nasty Majesty. How do you feel about that one?
Etras, I love them. They're so much fun to use, and they're so like, they're not very strong, but they're so hard to hit. And so, unless you're a roller.
Diego getting some picks there with the team. So 2v2. This time looks like Nasty Majesty is a little more composed than they were in that last game.
Oh, well done, well done. Got some goes back and forth. Not a total wipe here in the beginning. Good to see.
Yeah, trades are happening. No one's touching the Rainmaker yet. I think Persistence is about to, though.
Touching hard, baby.
They
are touching it hard.
Don't know what that meant. Persistence getting it to 68. Unfortunately, Jamocha doesn't get the pick, but they get the Rainmaker right back and a chance to score big here.
Oh my word!
Score to 29. Swift, do you think that's going to be enough on this map to actually hold the lead, though?
I do not, because at the top, they're just like, you can just zoom on it. If you have a lot of run speed, you can just zoom and get automatically a lot of points. I do think if Persistence defends for the rest of the game, though, I think they can just pull this off.
Stingray going to find Mako there on the Rainmaker, stopping this push. And again, a lot of them go down. Diego, the only one left alive. It's looking pretty rough for Nasty Majesty, who hasn't even scored a single point yet.
And it hurts to see Mocha goes down with the hands of Sora. Got 3 minutes left, but I have a feeling we don't have 3 minutes left.
Looking for the KO's Persistence. They do find some picks from Nasty Majesty, though. They are going to put the Rainmaker and get it to 90. But of course, that's nowhere near the need.
Oh my word! These bombs from No?
No, just waiting. Wow. Kills.
Yeah, I think 4 or 5 kills in a row by No. We've told him he is the Splat champion, and right now he's showing us why. Jamocha gonna stop him for now, but again, another Rainmaker push coming in.
Rainmaker's down. Looks like Nasty Majesty is gonna be able to pick it up here, or maybe they're gonna let it reset.
2:30, half the game is now away from Nasty Majesty, and with such a big lead, they gotta be feeling a lot of pressure, and that pressure seems to be making them maybe go for some bad plays in some 1v2 situations. No, again, just popping off on them.
Rainmaker, you can see some crazy things though. A 90-0 victory is not impossible by any means. 29 is definitely a lead, but it's still one that's possible to take.
Yeah, we'll see how Persistence defends this one. Currently, their defense is just go out and kill them, because over and over they've been able to do that. And now with the Rainmaker, once again, maybe even going to advance their lead. They do so by 2 points, but that's of course not much.
It's nice to see. I wish we saw a little bit more competition here. But it looks like Nasty Majesty is just struggling to stay alive.
And it's really because of No. I mean, he does go down there after stopping the Rainmaker. Jamocha's going to be able to pop it open, but again, as you said, Zach, Nasty Majesty going down time and time again.
Out of nowhere.
Shots trying to go over the wall. Oh, who's going to get each other? Alright, here we go. We got 1 minute left. Nasty Majesty, 4v4. They got to get some picks. They got to get something going. Playoff hooks on the line. Can Shane, team captain, pop off and do it? Gonna trade one. But Mako goes down. Inky with a nice kill on the snipe. And that might be enough to actually just say game over. They're going to have one more chance for Nasty Majesty to get back on the map if they can.
Nasty Majesty's kind of just going in, not really using their specials to get kills, just going in, hoping they can win the 1v1.
Yeah,
but
Shane,
Persistence really just showing what they're made of.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Shane, though, with a trade on to No, might be able to get them at least something going. 2 go down. If they can get Sora here, Shane doesn't see Sora, though. And Sora might just be able to close out that game with 3 kills in a row. 10 seconds left. It's only Mako alive. Stingray is there, but I think No can just pick it up and end the game here. And that is going to be Nasty Majesty's season-ending game. sadly not able to take a game off of Persistence. Heartbreaking for them, but GG's all around. They tried their best, but Persistence today is the team that is going to be persistent and persisting on to the playoffs. You like that one, Zach?
Nevertheless, she persisted.
Oh man, it seemed like Nasty Majesty weren't able to play to the level of Persistence. Swift, I know you liked Nasty Majesty, but what do you think it was about Persistence that made them able to dominate that and take a 3-0?
Well, they weren't really taking 2v1s. You could see more of Persistence going together, while I could just see Nasty Majesty going in by themselves, kind of trying to take 2v1s, trying to get trays, when you really just got to stick together with your team.
Yeah. And out of the 4 teams racing for those 2 playoff spots, this does mean Nasty Majesty is eliminated. Mirage ending with a 14-10 record. We already know Regular Gamers has 13 wins, so even if they don't win anymore, Nasty Majesty would have 1 game less at a 12-12 record. It is heartbreaking, Zach. I mean, what do you do after a season-ending loss like this?
I think it's an honor to be able to play against a team that is at the caliber of Persistence. You take that, you evaluate what you did wrong, look at those replays, and just take some notes going into next season. They belong where they've been. They belong in this esports league. They fought hard for where they are, and maybe just a couple mistakes along the way is what took them out of the finals. But an amazing team that I think in a different scenario could have belonged in that top 4 without just a couple mistakes.
Yeah, it feels pretty rough for Nasty Majesty. I was hoping they'd get at least 1 win to tie it up, and then it'd be in the hands of Regular Gamers. But unfortunately, it's not going to happen. I do feel bad for those players, but they have put up an incredible season. If a game or 2 went differently throughout the season, who knows? They may have made the playoffs. But Persistence going to sweep them away, unfortunately, and that means Persistence is moving on with a chance to take number 1 seed if Bittersweet goes down today. And, of course, they have to beat Translucence, which they're up against next. Translucence with also a chance, same position as Nasty Majesty. Can they take 1 win off of Persistence and